As I became more and more interested in personal finance, more particularly achieving financial freedom, I realized that it's very, very important who I take my advice from. If you want to end up middle class, take your advice from the middle class. If you want to achieve financial freedom, take your advice from people who've achieved financial freedom. If you want to learn how to use your mortgage as a tool instead of being used by your mortgage, or perpetually find yourself either in the rat race or living the mediocre day-to-day life that everybody else lives, watch till the end of this video. So my name is Nyiko and I started this channel after being a financial advisor for about 8 years. I realized that people just simply had the wrong ideas about personal finances, wealth, and financial freedom, and just how to go about achieving this. So I decided to start this channel just to endow people with more information about how to go about becoming free from your finances, how to go about taking control of your finances, taking control of your destiny. So if this is the type of content that you'd like to see, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know every time a new video comes out. Okay, let's get into the topic for today. So, your mortgage is a poverty trap, is it? Let's talk a bit more about that. Firstly, I'd like to start by defining these particular terms: wealth versus riches. First, I'd like to start by bringing clarity on how I define these particular terms: wealth versus riches. While riches are measured in dollars, wealth is measured in time. In other words, if I were to win $1 million today, I could be rich for anything from 4 days, 40 days, 4 months, or even 4 years, or even more if I know how to manage my finances. But if I was wealthy, someone who is wealthy could live off, say, $100,000 a year, but do so for 60 years. This is what I would define as wealth. If I had to wish a fate on anybody that I loved, I would definitely wish wealth over them over riches. I've come across a good number of people who cite tax advantages as a good reason to invest in a primary residence. Besides the basics, an investment that costs you money instead of making you money is in real terms actually a liability. If you have to live in your primary residence for a couple of years and then move out to realize, say, 1031 exchange and the capital gains exclusion, and this is the only way that you make money off your property, you're not actually building wealth so much as creating riches. This way of making money is definitely not passive income, definitely a lot more like transactional earned income, because you always have to keep transacting if you want to keep making money. I'd rather invest all of my time, all of my skills, all of my efforts trying to build a base of passive income so I can free up my mind to learn how to create more opportunities to make even more money and further build my base of passive income. You're doing it all wrong. In discussing wealth creation, I will always make reference to corporations or businesses because I believe they are pregnant with principles and lessons we can learn about how wealth is truly and vastly created. My problem with the primary residence school of thought is that it takes your access to credit, a precious tool that can potentially be used to build wealth, not just riches, wealth, and it takes it and puts you into a liability, all the while stifling your opportunity to scale, grow, and build actual wealth. Corporations definitely don't use credit in this way. They use credit as leverage. You should use your credit in the same way. Corporations aren't necessarily obsessed in owning the premises from which they operate so much as expanding the foothold in the respective industry or sector that they operate within. Why are you so obsessed with going in the complete opposite direction? You need to use your access to credit to grow your income base. Businesses use a combination of their savings and making use of leverage to grow themselves. Individuals, on the other hand, use their access to credit to purchase liabilities and then use their savings to hope to build wealth. By comparison, the latter makes absolutely no sense, yet most people behave in this way and have these ambitions as a means to build their wealth. How to build wealth? To build wealth, you need to learn the difference between debt and leverage. Debt allows you to take advantage of money that you don't have and pay for it all in arrears. Leverage, on the other hand, allows you to enjoy control over something that you may not necessarily own or even afford, while all the while allowing it to pay for itself so that you can one day actually own it. As for the banks just offer you credit. It's up to you, it's up to your financial literacy, it's up to your ambition, it's up to your plans, whether you decide to use your access to credit to put yourself into debt or to use it as leverage. You can tell yourself whatever you like, but at the end of the day, your primary residence, your house, the one that you actually live in, costs you money, even if you don't have a mortgage on it. It does not make you money. Even if you've paid down the mortgage, you still have to paint it. You still have to remove the weeds from your driveway. You still have to repair that water heater that burst. You still have to redo the roof. You still have to repair the plumbing. All of this costs you money. Oftentimes, money earned by the sweat of your brow. This is the classical definition of a liability. On the other hand, owning a secondary house, a mortgaged property that your tenants live in, can, if done right, make you money. And yes, depending on your contract, you may still have to mow the lawn, you may still have to paint it, you may still have to incur some costs that go into maintaining the property. But all these costs are ultimately financed by your tenants, and you can even have change at the end of the day, a profit after all your expenses have been covered. This is the definition of an asset. This is the power of leverage. Your mortgage is an opportunity lost. It is true, your mortgage does hog your access to credit that could otherwise be used to build your balance sheet, and instead gets used to indebt the future version of yourself. And while all this may be true at a mathematical level, at a financial level, perhaps even at a logical level, a mortgage robs you most at the subconscious level. I can't tell you how many people I've come across that have had to forego massive opportunities, in large part because they have a mortgage. It could be a myriad of things. A business opportunity, a job that you hate but you cannot leave because you've got a mortgage, an opportunity to learn a new set of skills that could double, triple, quadruple your income. Many times you have to forego such opportunities simply because you cannot take the risk of potentially not being able to service your mortgage payments. Gradually, you stop thinking out of the box. You become one of those sheep that you so badly in your youth did not want to become, all because of your mortgage. So, in conclusion, what now? Firstly, when you're trying to build wealth, you can't only think about tangible costs such as principal payments, interest payments, and how you need to pay down your mortgage quickly so you can pay less in interest. You also need to think about opportunity cost. For instance, what would happen if you were to use your access to credit and the savings that you have in a different way? Any proper look at an amortization schedule will show you that the banks always win either way, whether you pay down your mortgage over the full term or whether you pay it down quickly. Yes, it is mathematically true that by paying down your mortgage quickly, you pay less in interest payments. Nobody is denying this. But either way, as far as the bank is concerned, by paying down your mortgage quickly, yes, you give them less in interest, but you also expose them to a risk position for a shorter period of time. Either way, they still win at your expense. What could have possibly happened if you could have used your access to credit as leverage instead of debt? Have you actually run the numbers? Do you actually know what the opportunity costs are? Secondly, you need to understand that credit can either be used as debt, a way to enslave your future self, or leverage, a way to enrich your future self. Thirdly, you need to understand that The rich, the wealthy seek to control stuff, while the middle class seek to own stuff. Mark Zuckerberg does not own Facebook, not even 3/4 of it, not even half of it, barely even a quarter of it. Jeff Bezos does not own Amazon. Bill Gates does not own Microsoft. On the other hand, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates all definitely control Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft. If these billionaires are not bending over backwards trying to own these entities, why do you so badly want to own the house that you live in? So, here's the take home. Stop trying to build wealth through your paycheck. Use your paycheck to gain access to credit, which you can use to gain access to leverage, which you can use to build wealth. Don't hog your credit buying liabilities. Very importantly, yes, save money, save as much as you can, but also make use of your credit so you can build a portfolio, so you can build wealth. Free up your credit. Get rid of any debt that is not making you money. And if you really, really want to own the property that you live in, build up a property portfolio or build up passive income and let your passive income pay for the mortgaged house that you live in. So if you found this video useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that you can be notified every time a new video is dropped on the channel. Have a good one, stay safe, and see you in the next video. So I've been running my financial planning practice for about 8 years now. So I've been thoroughly exposed to all the methods that work and all the methods that don't work. And as an extension of this YouTube channel, I've also now started to consult one-on-one, helping you with wealth coaching. We talk everything from credit, how to speak to your banks, buying cars, property investment, everything you need to know so that you can achieve financial freedom successfully. If you want to get in touch and schedule a consultation, contact me via the email provided in the description.